Hey guys, Christine here. I'm a few minutes late. Trying to get the kids kicked out of the RV so I can get things started. I am excited about what we're going to be going into today. Let me turn the volume on my computer down and get into my post so I can talk with you guys about it. So, I have been reading Homeschool Bravely. Amazing book, guys. Like, I'm not exaggerating. I know I always sound so excited about everything that I'm looking into, but it's because I'm only going to share things with you guys that I'm excited about. I'm not going to show you anything that I'm super humdrum about. I'm going to share things that I love and that I'm excited about, and I am so excited about this book. So I want to dive into it with you. I want to tell you what's in the book. I want to share with you my favorite part of the book and the thing that spoke to me the most, so here's the thing. I feel that this book is going to be up there with the top 5 homeschool mom books. So, like, it may even be number 1 for me right now. But, like, think of the books that have been around for a few years now that all the homeschool moms talk about. Let's say, of course I'm not going to be able to think of all the names of them because I'm excited about this one. The one by Sarah Mackenzie. Someone help me with this. I can't think of the name of it. But her book and the book by Pam Barnhill, all those books that I think of when I think of homeschool moms, this book is going to be on the shelf with those. It is going to be like the top homeschool mom book, and y'all need to read it because here's the thing. So we're actually having a really cool, awesome, not stressful homeschool year this year. Don't ask me why. I have no special formula on how to make your homeschool not stressful. There certainly is going to be tips in this book to help you so that your homeschool is not stressful, and so you are going to be homeschooling bravely. But we're having a really good homeschool year. But there's still things in here that are resonating with me going, oh my gosh, I know that struggle. Oh my goodness, I have been through that. Or, oh my gosh, we're going through this right now. These are like the words that I needed to hear are spoken in this book. So if I had this book, there was a couple years ago, my husband, we're a military family. And my husband was overseas for a whole year. So to say it was a tough year is an understatement. Honestly, if I had this book back then, I probably would have bawled my eyes out because every little thing that she's touching on is stuff that we went through, especially during that really hard year. Any new homeschool moms, especially those of you, whether you're new or not, because I know that a lot of seasoned homeschool moms still have the doubt, right? We are so worried that we are not doing everything that our kids need, or we are so worried that we are not good enough to homeschool our kids, or they are not going to get enough out of it, or we are not equipped to do it. This is like the homeschool mom cheerleader book. She's telling you just how equipped you truly are. Because here's the thing, when we are homeschool moms, we have been called to homeschool, whether or not we feel like we have been. This is like my favorite thing I got out of this book. Even if we're like, well, I'm not homeschooling because I was called to do it. I'm homeschooling because this situation forced me to. Or we don't have another option in our area because the schools are just that bad in our area. Or whatever the circumstances are. That even if there's a specific reason of why you have to homeschool, you are still being called to do it. Even if you don't feel like you're being called, that you feel like it's just a matter of happenstance, that you are forced into it, you may be forced into that for a reason, and that God puts us in this situation for a reason, and because he has a purpose through homeschooling our kids. And I think that's like in chapter 2 that she talks about that, and that was like my favorite thing when I came across that. I'm like, yes, like exactly, that's exactly how I've been feeling. So there's been a lot of times where I've been reading this book and I'm like, yeah, just because every little thing that she says, I'm just like, that's exactly what I've been thinking, or that's exactly what I've been telling people, or that's what I wanted to say but couldn't find the words to say. She's done all of that for me, so I wanted to write a homeschool book. I'm not sure I have to anymore. I think I can just tell everyone, hey, go get Homeschool Bravely, because that's everything that I would put into a book anyways. So let me get into this a little bit. So first of all, can we just talk about this cover real quick and how gorgeous it is? So when I first saw the cover, I was like, holy moly, I need that book. I don't even care what's in it. I just need that book because it's about homeschooling and it's beautiful. So please tell me, does anyone else judge a book by its cover? Because I'm so guilty of that, because I like pretty things. And when I see stuff that I'm like, oh, that's so pretty, I need that. Like, I'm like the person that's like, ooh, that's shiny, I need to buy it. It is so beautiful, and the content does live up to the cover, which is something that I love. Because sometimes I'll buy a book because the cover is gorgeous, and then inside it's just, you know, there's nothing worthwhile. So, a few things I want to point out. There's 3 sections, and for each section there's a pretty little golden page with some quotes and stuff, and all throughout the book there's little quotes inside the little circles. So you can flip. It's like every couple of pages you're going to have quotes. So if you just need some inspiration and just some, hey girl, you can do this, you can literally flip through the book and find those quotes and be like, oh, I needed that right now. And there's even little quotes from other homeschool bloggers, other authors, curriculum company owners, stuff like that, those are sprinkled throughout the book as well. And they talk about what it means to homeschool bravely, or whatever the topic is for that specific chapter. Let me find another one for you guys. And some of those have totally spoken to me too. So this is from another author. So there's just a little gold band throughout the pages too. And I love it because you can just flip through without reading any of the chapters. Flip through, read these little quotes from other authors, read the little circle blurbs that are things that are through the text. So these are Jamie's words in here from the book. You could just flip through those and be completely encouraged just by flipping through those quotes without even reading a single word that's in the actual text, and be like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better about my situation now. So they are so encouraging. I'm obviously not saying that you shouldn't read the book, but you can. You could just flip through and look at those quotes. If you're just having a really rough moment and need some encouragement, you can flip through and get those. And I love that about it. So there's 3 different sections. So there's the fear, the struggle, and the solution. So I want to talk a little bit about those. So the fear is just those homeschooling fears that we typically have. So chapter 1, when you check the wrong box, or let me flip to, oh man, I just had chapter 2 in my hand. I think I passed it. Chapter 3, the path to bravery. It was chapter 2, calling or coincidence. So that's why I was talking about with are we being called to this or not. Let me think. So this is all just, what are our fears as homeschool moms? So that's what you're going to be seeing in the first section of the book, is those fears that we have as homeschool moms. Because let's face it, even if we weren't homeschool moms, even if we were just moms of public school kids, or moms of private school kids, or our kids aren't even in school yet, that's kind of part of motherhood, right? Is that we are always fearful for things for our kids because we want to do a good job as moms. We don't want to fail our kids. We don't want to mess up. I think that's a normal fear that all moms have. And so obviously with being a homeschool mom, it's going to pour over into our homeschooling lives as well. And so she just really touches on that we don't need to be fearful because we have God on our side. We have Him helping. His hand is in our homeschool. His hand is in everything that we do, and we don't need to feel that fear. And so there's scripture sprinkled all throughout the book, and I love that. I mean, she just pulls it in so naturally. It's not that it's not shoved down your throat or anything like that. It's completely done naturally, and just, I mean, because it's just a part of our lives, right? So part 2 is the struggle. Who has struggled in their homeschooling journey? I have, right? Sometimes it's an everyday struggle. Sometimes you're having a really, really great year. Like we've had a really good year this year. And then next year could be a total disaster. Or maybe we had a really good day today, and then tomorrow is just like, oh my goodness, how can I ever continue to homeschool or anything like that? So just the struggle. So it's talking about normal struggles, completely normal. When you have one of those kids, I have one of those kids. Oh my goodness. It is so hard some days to get through the day. I'm going to be reading a little bit from chapter 8 here in just a second. Chapter 6, struggling to teach a struggler. So what if you have a child who struggles in a certain area, whether it's a completely average struggle with just, you know, they have trouble with spelling, so they're super discouraged, or maybe you have a child that has special needs, so you're struggling because your child is struggling with learning different things. She talks about homeschooling with toddlers in the house. Hello. It's like just totally all the steps taken. Oh, you like all of them? There you go. Woo! In the giveaway. I'm going to talk about that too. So I do have an extra book. It's laying around here somewhere. Our RV is a mess, guys. That's the funny thing, is that even with living in such a small space, I feel like I lose stuff more being in a small space. But either way, proof that I have a book. I have two. One is for me, one is for you. The other one's laying around here somewhere. But it will be going to one of you guys. We'll talk about that very end. But you can see in the post all of things to do to enter the giveaway. I'll get into that. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay. So, Little People, Big Messes, Chapter 7, talking all about when you're homeschooling and you have toddlers in the house. Oh my goodness, that's probably like my number one right now, is trying to homeschool with an 18-month-old who tears the house apart. One Crazy Day Away from Crisis. I'm going to read a couple pages from that in just a minute. So then part 3, the solution. So I think it's almost funny that she calls I keep saying section, part 3, the solution, because she's sprinkling solutions all throughout the book anyways. But then she's going into more solutions, obviously, because we need to touch on all of those. So it's homeschool, not school at home. Oh my goodness. Preach it, girl, because that is something that I'm always saying. Like, those words come out of my mouth all the time. A Guilt for Years, Chapter 10. We have Your Spot on the Wall for Chapter 11. And I believe that there's one more chapter. Did I pass it? I did. I passed Chapter 12. Chapter 13, Check the Box with Bravery. So something else that I forgot to put in my blog post, I may have to go in and edit it, is there's an appendix in the back. Questions to ask before you start homeschooling. So for those of you who are thinking about homeschooling, there's some questions in there you can ask before starting. Maybe you're a brand new homeschooler. Appendix B, Books for Further Reading. I love that she added these. There are some great names in here. Some that I have read, some that I have not read but have heard of. And then, of course, some acknowledgments in the back. So look at those appendices. It's appendixes, right? Someone help me out with that. I hope my phone doesn't die. I should probably try to plug it in. Let me see if my husband's cord will reach. I think his will. Let me plug this in so I don't lose you guys. Oh no, is that going to tip it over? Let me move this a little bit closer. I'm sitting on my bed in our bedroom just to try to get away from all the chaos that's outside. So those are some really great additions to the back of it too. So I really hope you guys check that out. So I want to read just a part that stuck out to me today specifically. There's a lot of different parts that stuck out to me, so it was really hard to choose one to share with you guys, but I really did. I wanted to read a couple of pages, just appendices. Okay, thank you. I was making sure I wasn't making appendices up, that wasn't like a made-up word. Maybe it is. Maybe we both just made it up. Anyway, so I'm going to read the first, I don't know, page, almost 2 pages of chapter 8, because I want you guys just to see just how this book is written. You are having basically a conversation with Jamie throughout this book, and I love that. That is the kind of book that I can actually get through. A lot of self-help books I can't read very well because it's just, I don't know, they're boring. And this one's just not boring. It feels like you're having coffee with a good friend who is just encouraging you. Because that's the thing. With homeschool authors, with homeschool bloggers, we are not some other breed of homeschool mom. We do not have it, we don't have all of the answers, and we are not, I mean, we're professionals, but at the same time we're not. We're just moms. So that's what I love about books like Homeschool Bravely, is that it's literally like you're just sitting across a table from a mom friend who also happens to homeschool, who is just giving you advice because she's been doing it for longer than you, so she's just been in the trenches for a little bit longer. And that's how I feel reading this, is that I'm just having coffee with my friend, and it's just so encouraging to sit there and be like, yeah, you're right. This is so helpful. So anyway, so I'm going to read a couple pages from chapter 8, One Crazy Day Away from Crisis. He stood there, tears brimming the corner of his eyes. He was only 3 and didn't quite understand. Golly, even at nearly 30, I didn't fully comprehend it myself. We both just stared with gaping mouths at all the struggle, feeling helpless. No, not exactly helpless, for we certainly could have helped. But even with my limited experience, I knew our help would have hindered, probably even crippled, any potential success. But how could I explain that to my son as he sat watching the jar in anguish, desperately wanting to reach out and end what seemed to him to be strife and suffering? We were gathered around an old pickle jar, anxiously watching as a butterfly, our summertime science project, wrestled its way into the world. Its once protective chrysalis now seemed to be an anchor weighing it down. The butterfly writhed and wiggled, desperately trying to free its wings. It was a violent dance, but one choreographed by a creator who knows all the hidden and silent secrets of nature. Surely it was only a matter of moments before the limp wings emerged from their captivating shell. But to us, it seemed like hours. The process looked painful and pointless. We could have easily just peeled the soft shell away from the butterfly, freeing him from the struggle. But we didn't. He needs to build his muscles, I said to my son, gently wiping away a tear that had escaped down his cheek. It was a simple explanation for what I knew to be true. There was a point to the struggle. It was God designed. It's the pushing and the pulling that butterflies constrict their abdomens, allowing the yellowish blood, called hemolymph, someone correct me on that because I'm probably saying it wrong, to fill their wing veins. Without the transfer of blood, the abdomen would be too heavy and the wings would never be able to fully extend. Watching the struggle as a bystander was difficult, but I knew the struggle would help our butterfly grow into what it was supposed to be. If I took away the struggle, I'd also take away the flight. It's the same way with homeschooling. You can't always opt out of the struggle for you or your child. Sometimes you have to sit in the discomfort of it for your own good and for theirs. More often than not, there is a someday point to the pain of right now. At the risk of pouring salt into a raw wound, I'm going to take a wild guess and assume you or your child are facing some kind of struggle that has become a burden on your attempt to homeschool. Struggle seems to be the common denominator of humanity. It's universal. Jesus put it this way, "In this world you will have trouble," John 16:33. So whether you find yourself in a momentary calm or in the very center of a storm, one thing's for sure. Difficulties are close within reach. Struggle is synonymous with this world. I love it. That's only 2 pages, and that is like sprinkled. I've got goosebumps right now, even though I'm like super warm in my room. That is sprinkled all throughout the book. Just simple stories of her with her kids and how she has learned the life lessons out of it, and that she has learned the homeschooling lessons out of it. And she has scripture put in there exactly just like that, and she just has those lessons that we all learn as homeschool moms. I know in my 6 years of homeschooling, I have come across many, many struggles that I could write a whole book about. And just how we were able to overcome them. Everyone's going to go through it. You are going to go through it. I'm going to go through more. It's a part of life, right? We are not going to go through this life without struggles, but she gives you that confidence in this book to homeschool bravely so that you aren't just focusing on those struggles anymore, and you're focusing on the strength that God gives you, the resources that he gives you, and just so many other things that help you during this homeschooling journey. So the little thing she has in the cover is how to squash doubt, trust God, and teach your child with confidence. You would absolutely get that out of this book. So now that I gave you your little preview, and I got you guys so excited to get this book, I know a good handful of people bought this book in the pre-release. So if you did, you got that cool little freebie ebook along with it, which is awesome. If you have not, I do have my affiliate link for the Amazon book on the description there. Uh-oh, I hear crying. Are you okay? Oh, no, come here. Are you all right? You want to say hi? Life of a homeschool mom, right? Do you want to get an ice pack? Okay, go ahead and grab one. Hear me okay? Okay, close the door. You okay? Okay. He got a ball kicked in his face, guys. It's just, you know, it's just always going on. Okay, so for the giveaway, let me go through that really quick so I can take care of this. So I have all the steps for the giveaway for you guys there. The only thing you have to do is comment in the comments about a homeschool struggle that you are going through. I think that's what I put, right? You guys can read it. I put it in there right before zooming on to doing this. If you already read the book, a quote from the book that you absolutely love that is going to help you with your homeschool journey. And then there's some additional things you can do to get multiple entries. So if you want those multiple entries, just let me know you did all of them. That's the easiest way for me to count for you guys for all the different things that you've done, because it's kind of difficult for me to go and see if you've liked Jamie's page. Sometimes it's difficult for me to even see who has shared stuff because Facebook just hides that stuff from me sometimes. So make sure you tell me in the comments that you've done the extra things so I can give you all your extra entries. I'm going to close the giveaway. Let's do Friday at 3:30. Give you guys 2 days to enter. So I will add that into the little description part as well so that you guys can be reminded of when it ends. But I am so excited to mail this book off to somebody. It is phenomenal. I'm going to be recommending it for years and years and years to all kinds of homeschool moms I come across, because it will truly, I mean, the title is perfect for Homeschool Bravely because it will truly help you with your homeschooling journey and help you homeschool bravely. So, I don't think I even shared my post, so I'm going to have to edit that in there as well and put my post up so you guys can see the few things I read about it, see my hilarious picture I have of myself when my book came in. You don't want to miss that. And feel free to share this on Facebook. I have a pin in my post. Feel free to pin it on Pinterest so we can get Jamie some awesome recognition of her book. The more people that buy it, the better it is, and the more people that will get these amazing words. So I'm excited. Put all of your cool stuff for the entry to win your copy of Homeschool Bravely from me, and I will see you guys next time.